In a city carved from gray granite and golden limestone, lived a man named Alex. He was a craftsman by trade, working as an apprentice in the most prestigious masonry guild in the land. Alex was known for his incredible strength and an eye for detail that could spot a hairline fracture from across a room. However, he carried a heavy burden. He was a prisoner of his own high expectations. To Alex, anything less than absolute perfection was a total failure. If he spent 10 hours carving a rose and one petal was slightly thicker than the others, he would smash the work to pieces in a fit of rage and despair. He believed that greatness was a gift you were either born with or you weren't. The king announced a grand challenge to honor the city's centennial. He commissioned a central monument, a massive, life-sized eagle, to be carved from a single, rare block of translucent white marble. The stone was priceless, brought from a distant mountain, and there was only one. The master mason chose Alex for the task. "Your hands are the most skilled, Alex," the master said. "But your heart is the most fragile. Be careful with both." For weeks, Alex worked in a fever dream of productivity. He blocked out the world, barely eating or sleeping. The eagle began to emerge from the stone, its wings spread wide, every feather sharp enough to draw blood. But on the final day, as Alex was polishing the beak, a hidden pocket of air inside the marble gave way. A jagged crack snaked down the eagle's chest, splitting the beautiful white surface right down the middle. Alex dropped his chisel. The sound of it hitting the floor echoed like a funeral bell. He didn't yell, he simply walked out, went home, and locked his door. He stayed there for days, convinced that his life as a craftsman was over. Finally, his mentor, an old man who had seen 1,000 failures, knocked on Alex's door. He didn't offer pity. Instead, he brought Alex back to the workshop. In the corner sat a shelf of broken things, vases, plates, and small statues. But they weren't discarded. They were beautiful. Each crack had been filled with a shimmering, gold resin. "This is the art of resilience," the master said quietly. "In some cultures, they call this kintsugi. They believe that a break makes an object more beautiful because it now has a history. It has survived." He looked Alex in the eye. "You think your mistake ruined the eagle. I think your mistake is the only thing that will make the eagle worth looking at. Anyone can carve a perfect bird. Only a master can carve a story." The master gave Alex 3 rules to live by as he returned to the stone. The law of the pivot: when the path is blocked, don't stop, turn. If the stone breaks, the design must evolve. The discipline of the minutes: never let a mistake ruin a whole day. You are allowed 5 minutes of frustration, then you must return to the work with a clear mind. Process over prize. Stop looking at the finished monument. Look only at the inch of stone directly under your chisel. If you win the inch, you will eventually win the mile. Alex returned to the workshop. He looked at the cracked eagle. Instead of seeing a ruined bird, he saw an opportunity. He began to widen the crack intentionally, carving deep, swirling grooves that flowed out from the break. He inlaid these grooves with gold and silver wire. He transformed the ruined eagle into a phoenix, the mythical bird that rises from its own ashes. The crack became the very source of the bird's fire, representing the struggle of rebirth. When the monument was unveiled, the king and the townspeople were silent. They had expected a beautiful statue, but they found a masterpiece of emotion. The gold-veined phoenix stood as a symbol of the city's own history of surviving wars and hardships. Alex didn't just win the commission, he won his freedom. He realized that talent is a head start, but grit is the finish line. He no longer feared the crack in the stone or the mistake in his work, because he knew he had the tools to turn any failure into a new kind of beauty. Alex's journey shows that the cracks in our work, the delays, the errors, the moments we feel like quitting, aren't signs to stop. They are the places where we have to apply our gold, our effort and creativity, to make the final result even stronger.